All right, welcome to Smokey Approved Korea. I'm your boy Journalist, and on this one, we are here to check out why everyone is leaving AOMG. My YouTube algorithm is saying I need more J Park in my life for some reason, so you have some. So let's check this out. Let's see what we get from the video. Thank you guys for joining me. Please do hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description, and let's get into this.
Recently, AOMG seemingly went from a safe haven for hip-hop and R&B artists to one that artists can't wait to leave. After losing 8 key figures in the company, fans
I know one of these faces is Loco. That's it.
have been left wondering
If that is Loco in the Knicks hoodie, I swear that's Loco in the Knicks hoodie.
whether this is truly the end of AOMG. The company's name stands for Above Ordinary Music Group, and it was founded in 2013 by J Park, who then signed talented individuals such as Jungkook, Gray, and Cha-Cha Malone. The label then continued with getting even more extraordinary talents, namely ELO, Loco, Ugly Duck, DJ Wiegand, DJ Pumpkin, and Hoodie, so you could tell the label was headed toward big things. In March of 2014, Simon Dominic left Amoeba Culture and joined AOMG as co-CEO.
Well.
When he joined, it seemed like AOMG started becoming credible in the underground scene. More big changes started happening at the beginning of 2016 when AOMG formed a partnership with CJENM in
That's where it fucked up, is where I'm going to say. Once you started partnering with people that had shareholders, that's where the music doesn't get to just be the music. The music needs to be the music business. And for the music business, what the fuck is going on? Because we not making no money unless the stockholders are getting some good kickbacks. So I feel like that's probably where it fucked up.
which the latter would support the distribution and marketing while AOMG would continue having full control over the music. Over the next few years, the label saw a lot of success and more artists continued to get signed such as Code Kunst, Punchnello, Devita, Lehigh, Goosebumps, and Got7's You
What?
to get signed such as Code Kunst, Punchnello, Devita, Lehigh, Goosebumps, and Got7's Yu-Gyeong. In fact, a lot of the best Korean hip-hop and R&B songs that came out were from artists under AOMG. Based on everything we know, it appears the label provided a welcoming environment for both established and emerging artists who needed resources and guidance from trustworthy mentors. AOMG also appeared to strike a balance between a major entertainment company and a smaller indie label. They had the necessary connections to keep their artists busy with TV appearances and festivals while still allowing them artistic freedom and a say in their musical direction. In July of 2018, Simon Dominic ended up stepping down from his position as co-CEO. That same day, he dropped a track called Me No J Park, expressing the reasons behind his decision. The song touches on his admiration for J Park as well as his discomfort with titles like Boss and CEO and the struggles of keeping pace with J Park. A few months later, both J Park and Simon Dominic appeared on JTBC's Let's Eat Dinner Together, where J Park confirmed that the two were on good terms. In the show, Simon Dominic explained, "I went from owner to artist. It wasn't because there was an issue of money. While being in the leadership position, it felt like I became lazy about music and was lacking drive. I did it in order to return to the beginning." It showed that it's not really easy for artists to just become businessmen and leave their craft behind, not to mention the burden of being compared to the founder of the company. Everything seemingly shifted at the very end of 2021, when on the last day of the year, J Park announced that he would be stepping down as CEO of both AOMG and Higher Music, which was a shock to everyone. He wrote a letter to thank fans as well as the artists and staff under both labels, but didn't explain why he would be doing so. Sure, he had hinted towards giving up his position and even retiring in the past, but people didn't know that it would happen so soon. After all, he had worked non-stop ever since he debuted with 2PM and was the CEO of 2 of the biggest K-hip-hop companies. In addition to all of that, he also produced and released music of his own and appeared on variety shows. It's no wonder why he wanted to take a break, because it seemed like he never stopped working ever since he debuted. Others said that maybe he wanted to focus on other things because just a few months earlier he launched his own soju brand, so people guessed that he wanted to make that a priority. Either that or he just wanted to release music without dealing with the business side of things, just like Simon Dominic had done, but it was a big deal that the company's own founder had stepped down from his position, so people were left wondering if something was wrong, something inside the company that we didn't know about. Then it kept going downhill and more stuff started to come out. Sure, they did sign more artists and kept doing everything that a normal company does, but after J Park, artists that were signed by him ended up leaving one by one. It didn't happen right away, but it was obvious that his departure brought up some changes within the company. In February—
That's just only natural, though. Like, it's kind of like in American football, where if you're a quarterback already on the team and your team gets a new coach, you're not that coach's guy. So they probably going to get you the fuck up out of there. But in reverse, the new label heads, you're not my guy. And the whole reason I was here was because my guy is here. So if some shit does happen here, I have a direct phone call to a person that I have a relationship with. So it makes it worth being over here, plus all the stuff that they have. But my guy's gone. Get the fuck up out of here.
February of 2023, Sogum ended up leaving the company after the expiration of her 3-year contract. She had nothing but good words for the company though, saying that they gave her love and courage to overtake new challenges and grow. Then the company started having troubles with Minoi. In February of 2024, she went on Instagram Live and broke down in tears, saying that she wanted to clarify her situation. She said that she had been awake for 2 days straight and didn't have any alcohol during that time. Minoi also said, at this point,
2 days, no alcohol. I'm not saying she was drinking. And I don't want to be callous because I don't know actually what the full context of like why she was spinning out. But there's got to be a lot going on, plus stress, to be up for 2 days and you're sober. The fuck is going on over there?
Point in my life, I've come to realize the actions I need to take to address questions about whether I can consider myself an artist and confidently assert that, telling the ones who were watching that they would understand her by March. Then she made a post on Instagram and then deleted it, admitting that while everyone follows the law, her personal standards sometimes differ. She acknowledged some mistakes and expressed regret for not being more humble in certain situations, implying that she might have committed a crime. While fans had no idea what she was talking about, they were still concerned. Only 3 days later, AOMG released a statement saying that they had a disagreement with Minoi regarding an advertising contract. In the end, she decided not to attend a commercial shoot for a cosmetics brand just 2 hours before the shoot was supposed to happen. They also explained why her breakdown happened in the first place, saying, in the process, the artist mentioned she committed a crime through her live stream because of the guilt she felt from not filming, and she thought it would take a certain period of time to handle it all. However, they said that the two parties communicated promising to do their best to recover from the damages. Minoi got a lot of criticism from netizens for being unprofessional, with some even theorizing that she was trying to get out of the contract by quote-unquote acting out. She was skipping commercials last minute, left cigarettes out in the open as she was live streaming and was talking about committing crimes.
Yes.
Not only that, but AOMG's
I'm always artist first. I don't give a fuck about the label. The label will suck my dick. But if you are doing these slights of protest to the label, fucking right. And anybody that's not on the side of the artist, do you actually like music? Because I see any revolts from a person stuck on a record label, production contract. I don't give a fuck what it is. If you are unhappy and you can't just walk away, then why not just burn it all down? Because they're keeping you there because they want you to be forced to live a life that's going to fucking hurt you mentally. So why not do the most destructive shit? And I'm not saying to yourself, but to the image that they're trying to uphold so they can reap and get more money from the image that you've helped cultivate. Fuck that. Burn that shit down. Start doing all kinds of goofy shit. I don't give a fuck. Shout out to Minoi. I don't even know this young lady, but good on you, Hen. Keep doing that shit.
Explanation didn't make sense because why would she be crying about not abiding by the law if the only thing she did was skip out on a photo shoot? It was obvious that she was going through something more serious and the company wasn't doing a good job at handling the situation. Then, things got even messier and a big part of it was AOMG's fault. Minoi personally spoke of the controversy on March 4th as she apologized for causing concern to everyone and said that she wanted to speak up despite being advised not to. In this statement, she said that there were several reasons why everything happened. First, she said that the content of the advertisement contract was not shared with her and that she wasn't informed about when the contract was drafted. She also said that she wasn't even provided access to the contract even though she had requested that. Minoi also alleged
she requested to see the contract but wasn't shown it immediately means that she was shown it, just not at the speed she wished to have been able to view it. And whoever's doing the voiceover, to put those words on the screen and then to say it like she never seen the contract, that's duplicitous. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Like, if we're going to cover a mess, or if we're going to try and sling mud or show the sides of what has happened in a moment, you can't have words that mean a thing and then just completely edit them differently in your voiceover. Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. So number 3, she wanted a contract. She asked for it, or to view the contract. They did not give it to her as fast as she would like, but she did get to view the goddamn contract though.
Wasn't even provided access to the contract even though she had requested that. Minoi also alleged that a forged stamp bearing her name was added to the contract.
That's again. How does she know that a fake stamp was on the contract if she was never shown it? This is why, like, the details matter. Or for some reason, my brain just catches on to that shit, and I'm just like, I can't be the only person that hears 3 and 4, and it's like, well, 4 can't exist if 3 happens the way you just said it did. I don't know why this is a big issue for me, but I think it's because if I'm going to sit here on the internet like I do and point fingers or provide my opinions on certain things, then don't give me false facts to provide my opinions next to, because then I look like a dickhead. Or why am I having to call this shit out? You're telling us why everybody's leaving AOMG, making quite big statements on people. At least say the shit fully and transparently so there is no implied bias, because I have an open bias towards the labels and shit, but I'm not about to sit here and act like the shit was a different scenario. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know when people do that shit.
Furthermore, she communicated her decision not to participate in the ad shoot and denied the allegation that she failed to attend the filming just 2 hours prior. On March 6th, Dispatch published an article fact-checking all of Minoy's claims, and it was obvious that the issue was caused by miscommunication. However, the company was partially to blame for mishandling the situation by failing to provide all necessary details before the shooting. They also signed the contract with an electronic signature before Minoy even agreed to it. The final contract was presented to the artist after these negotiations took place, which showed unprofessionalism on their part. Of course, this was mostly Minoy's fault, but people agreed that AOMG could have handled the situation better. Later on, it was reported that these issues led to Minoy and AOMG's relationship to be strained to the point that there were discussions of terminating her contract. That wasn't all, as after the issue took place, AOMG's CEO DJ Pumpkin stepped down from his position. He declared his intentions to resign, associating his decision with Minoy's controversies. Insiders familiar with DJ Pumpkin disclosed that he had been considering resignation for a while, particularly due to the escalating problems concerning Minoy, as he had feelings of responsibility and regret. AOMG, on the other hand, said that his resignation had nothing to do with the recent events, but people couldn't help but link the two together. To add salt to the wound, on March 28th, AOMG announced that the contracts of Gray, Lehigh, Woo Wonjae, and Goosebumps had come to an end and that the artist would be departing the company. They did end up reconciling with Minoy, but then on April 22nd, Simon Dominic ended his contract with the label as well. The last nail in the coffin came on April 26th when it was announced that Code Kunst was leaving the label as well. In other circumstances, we could say that it's normal for artists to leave their agencies, but they have lost 6 of their main artists in the past month, most of which have been with the company ever since its foundation. Knowing all of this, we can't exactly pretend that there might be nothing wrong with the company. It's also being said that Loco and GOT7's Yeogyum will leave as well, considering that Loco is close to the artist that left, while most of Yeogyum's music was produced by Gray himself. If this really does end up happening, then there's not much left for the company. Well, there would be basically nothing left for the company, but what we're curious about is why is everyone suddenly jumping ship? AOMG used to be a pretty stable agency, and now 6 of their biggest artists have left in a very short period of time. One of the reasons that has been mentioned is that Gray and Wonjae were both close to DJ Pumpkin, so they might have felt loyal to him and left after he took the fall for Minoy's scandal. The AOMG artists were known for being very close to each other, so when they saw DJ Pumpkin leave, they might have wanted to follow along. They may also consider establishing their own label and pursuing their own endeavors. Gray, in particular, has previously mentioned his plans to create Grayground, aimed at nurturing and mentoring younger producers. Additionally, he's been dedicating more attention to producing soundtracks for movies and dramas, so he might be thinking of managing his own activities. Another likely situation is the artist's vision not lining up with the new CEO or management. We already mentioned there had been a shift after J Park left the company, and some of the artists probably just weren't happy with it and were waiting for their contracts to expire. Code Kunst himself apparently said, "I think I'll stay unless this company bankrupts," so things are definitely not good in AOMG at the moment. If you were to ask fans of the artists that left though, the problem allegedly lies with CJE&M. To give you a bit of a background, J Park previously hinted that JYP Entertainment basically blocked him from the industry after he left 2PM and the company, as he wasn't allowed to appear in music shows and festivals. In fact, AOMG's collaboration with CJE&M might not have happened if JYP hadn't intervened and prevented them from participating in the 2015 Infinity Challenge Music Festival, possibly taking their slot directly. Moreover, AOMG artists had already been in talks with some members of the Infinity Challenge crew when their participation was abruptly cancelled, allegedly because of JYP. However, despite their collaboration, J Park had apparently expressed multiple times that he didn't didn't trust them. Higher Music was actually created because he wanted to have full control over a label of his own. Whatever the reason is, it unfortunately won't be long before the company dissolves altogether. What's important though is that the artists appreciated their time there and have left on good terms with the company. Maybe one day we will get a Min Hee-jin type of press conference when the artists spill all the tea and tell us the behind-the-scenes secrets that we're desperate to know.
I just want to say, I wish I had that 10 minutes of my life back. And I'm sorry to anybody that watches this shit, because this was a bunch of bullshit. It's almost like a long-winded, fake-ass hit piece. Because the whole story is people are leaving AOMG because the niggas that started it left and the corporate suits are running it. And the people that were on that label are real fucking artists. And real fucking artists hate corporate suits because the one thing that people forget most about the music business is that second word. It's the business. The business got to run because money have to make. So ain't no goddamn way that these people are staying on this label if people that they respect musically and artistically aren't the power positions. So that's what happened. There's no scandal outside of the Manoy situation, and the Manoy situation seems to have come in from the label doing what the label do. Motherfucker, we agreed to have you do this shit, and you are under contract. And based on the terms of your contract, I can rubber stamp it with my digital signature and send it to you to read, to approve or deny. But the thing they're doing when doing that is they're pulling a power play on the artist they're sending it to. Because if the label sends me a contract that they've already signed asking me to sign it and I'm happy with all the terms, then cool. But them also doing that is saying that they're happy with these terms and I should just be saying yes. As essentially I should just rubber stamp it myself and put my name on it so the contract goes through. So it's a weird power play, but depending on how the fucking contract that the person has that they've sent it to, it's quite standard. It's quite standard. Well, not quite standard, but like I see what they were doing. But again, that happens when you're just dealing with the suits. So if Jay Park left, fucking Gray's gone, Simon's gone, like the mandem is left. So shit, people leaving the label. This was a bullshit. We could wrap this up in 2-3 minutes. They strung that shit out for, oh man, they was dragging that. I'm so sorry I waste anybody's time on this shit. There was nothing here. It was nothing salacious. It wasn't informative really. Like, yeah, it was a waste of my goddamn time. I learned more about these people being on that label and the roster being that fucking stacked and amazing that, like, that was the highlight of the video. AOMG was doing a miles on the industry. Shout out to Hire. Shout out to them folks. They some fucking beastie talent on there. That said, though, yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you to anybody who makes it to the end. I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'll try to pick a better video next time. Thank you for joining me. Please hit that like, subscribe. Patreon's in the description. See you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.